This webinar, good afternoon all, and this webinar is organized in collaboration with Department of Library Science and Center for Publication Ethics of Savitribai Phule Pune University. And I welcome all of you, especially Dr. Kumbar, who is a senior professor in the department and he was HOD. Our guest speakers, Shraddha Pange, who is also our student, and Kishoringe from Tata Consultancy Services. We have this 2 hours program, and in this program, both of them will share their expertise and what kind of opportunities are there in corporate sector. So I want to thank you, all of you, first that you spare the time and attended and participating in this workshop or lecture. But rather, I found your why you want to attend this workshop. I found the reason that you want to seek good jobs in corporate sector. But apart from that, our interest is also another different, that you should tell others that what kind of this profession is, because many of us have seen that in society still we have myths like librarians are just exchanging the books and they are at circulation desk and they just tell others to keep quiet in the library. So that image we want to change, and that is why we appeal all of you to spread the word of our profession among the society. So I again welcome all of you, and before taking much of time, we are already 5 minutes late. So I would like Professor Kumbar sir to talk about the department and what this department is doing. Sir, please.
Yes. All the coordinators of this particular venture, of course, at the helm of the affair, Nagarkar madam, her team, our own students who have actually shown a great initiative in organizing this particular webinar. Kishore, of course, who has been always interested to share professional thoughts with the fellow colleagues and fellow professionals. The another speaker of this particular webinar, Shraddha, our own student. So I'm proud that she has joined back here as panelist. So that is a great feeling on my account. And of course, Pange sir is there, other fellow professionals, and of course, the potential professionals, what we are looking for. Friends, this webinar has been organized under the leadership of Nagarkar madam, and we all know actually she is part and parcel of a great department that is Librarian Information Science Department, part of Savitribai Phule Pune University. We know actually Savitribai Phule Pune University is being recognized as Oxford of the East, a reputation it has earned through research, teaching, extension, and all that. And so has been the case with the Department of Librarian Information Science. It itself has earned a reputation by virtue of quality teaching and training. It has been conducting since 1958. This department was established in 1958, starting with a course named as Diploma in Librarianship, that was called as DIPLIP, which was converted into BLIP, that is Bachelor of Library Science, in 1965. Incidentally, the teachers in the department, the heads of the department in the respective times were so curious and so interested in actually covering a large segment of potential librarians. And for that purpose, an evening batch was started of a library science course, Bachelor of Library Science course in 1982. And that was specially started so as to enable the people who are working in different libraries and were not able to actually complete the course during the daytime. And so this facility was exclusively made available long back in 1982. Computer applications in libraries were, of course, was started. Then, of course, the MLBIC course was started in 68 or so. And the speciality of this department actually, even before the integrated course was started, that number of courses in computer applications in libraries were organized as short-term courses. Of course, that was the vision and the initiative of Dr. S.G. Mahajan, who was then head of the department and a great teacher under whose guidance, whose teaching, preaching, we have all learned. So, to be in tune with the UGC's curriculum development committee's report that came in 2000, this department started an integrated MLBIC course in 2002. Of course, in order to give impetus to the doctoral research, the Department of Library and Information Science initiated the doctoral research program in 1981, and I can very proudly say this, that up till now, about 100 research scholars have earned their doctoral degree under the guidance of the different supervisors associated with this particular department. Conducting refresher courses has been a regular feature of this department, and the credit goes to all the past teachers, heads of the departments, and librarians, of course, of the Jaikar Library. Workshops and seminars have been a continuous feature, though we have actually slacked a little in the recent time. But yes, the department has been conducting workshops. During in the recent time, we conducted a series of workshops on research methods, and of course, there were a number of lectures were conducted related with computer applications, internet, digital library, and softwares and all that. We have been helping our students to actually get the NetSet eligibility, and for that purpose, special workshops and training sessions were organized. Actually, this department is so proud that of their alumni, because they have been put in many prestigious institutions right now working, and they had been actually working in the past time also. Of course, as we could see, the two speakers today who are going to actually guide us, they too are working at a prestigious institutions, and our proud is that they are our alumni. The department has always been actually making it a point that to update their curriculum so as to be in tune with the current times. Very recently, actually, we had updated the syllabus, and I'm happy to actually inform this particular audience that ours is the first university department which has introduced the paper of Readers Advisory Service, where we believe actually guiding readers for reading, particularly answering their questions about why to read, what to read, and how to read. More particularly using our expertise of information sources, because we are basically people who are knowledgeable, have extreme expertise about resources that they are there, and the reader community is genuinely confused with the increasing number of information resources available, and they are confused about what to read, and thereby the reading recommendation is going to be a very handy service. They are all expecting actually this service from us, and we have responded to this requirement by introducing this paper. I'm reminded actually, before I conclude, very similarly, it was this very department under the able guidance of Dr. A.G. Mahajan who had introduced the computer applications in libraries, first time in the nation, a regular paper in the curriculum. Friends, we at this department are always trying to actually impart quality education and training to the future librarians. We all have our vision, mission, and goal to produce the best of the librarians in the nation, in the world, and thereby, since there are number of opportunities across the sectors, whether it is academic, whether it is the NGO, whether it is the corporate, about which actually these two speakers are going to guide us. So it is indeed on my part a welcome activity. I congratulate and compliment the organizers, Nagarkar Madam and her team, for organizing this particular webinar. And I also welcome and thank the speakers of the day, Kishore and Shraddha. With that, I wish you all the best, and will, of course, we will welcome you as particularly those people who are not librarians and who are interested in coming to this particular profession. So most welcome for that. With that, I hand over the mic to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inspiring words to us, sir. It is always good to talk with you. And yes, we are very proud. Both of us are our alumni, and we feel proud to welcome them as a speaker. And I will not take much time. I will just talk about the Center for Publication Ethics in 2 minutes, and then I will hand over it to Saili for introduction of Shraddha. So Center for Publication Ethics is a university's initiative, and it was started in 2018. Of course, we have submitted a proposal for establishing this center to the university from the Department of Library Science. And I'm very happy to share with all of you that it is a full-fledged independent center on the campus with the mission that enhancing and propagating the quality research and promoting ethical publishing practices among the faculty and research students. There are 3 major projects we are doing. First is we are coordinating the UGC care list for UGC, and we are also maintaining the research portal, publication portal of the university. And third, that we have designed the 2 credit course, which is made credit course on research and publication ethics, which is made compulsory by UGC in 2019. I'm sorry that I'm not going to talk much about after this, because we are waiting for listening to our speakers. So this center is has completed 5 batches of 2 credit course, and we are happy that many of them they are from affiliated colleges of the university and from the campus. All of them are PhD students. We will soon conduct another separate session for librarians on research and publication ethics, but I want to stop here. And I'm sorry that Professor Bansode, who is HOD now, he is busy in the meeting on the campus. So he said, you go ahead. I think he will join if possible at the end of the session. So I hand over it to Saili. Please introduce Shraddha, and then we will hand over it to Shraddha.
Yes, ma'am.
Saili.
Good evening, all. Today we have joined by Ms. Shraddha Pangi, ma'am. Currently, she has been working as Senior Data Analyst at Mastercard Pune. She has more than 6 years of experience in taxonomy development. Her skill set includes taxonomy building, metadata modeling, and curation for different systems and products. Prior to Mastercard, she worked at Think Analytics company for around 5 years as an information scientist. She has worked mostly on creating taxonomies and thesaurus, data analysis, data mapping, and reporting. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. I would request Shraddha Pange, ma'am, to proceed with the presentation.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'll just share my screen. Just let me know when you can see.
Yes, Shraddha, please share. And before she start, I just would like to add two important things that Shraddha is very, very junior, but
Yes.
want her experience because she has worked on very different topics and not the traditional librarianship. So we want her experience. And then we have very senior professional, Dr. Kishore Ingle with us. He is from TCS and having 17 plus years of experience. So they too will add a lot of things and give us a lot of knowledge about the corporate world. Over to Shraddha. Shraddha, please start.
Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. So, hello everyone. Good evening. I'm Shraddha, and I work with MasterCard as a senior data analyst for almost a year now. And I started my career as a trainee information science analyst at Tata Consultancy Services, and then worked as an information scientist at Think Analytics for a few years. So I really feel honored, to be talking today and delivering this session alongside Kishore sir. So no matter where I go, I think TCS will always have that special place and will always feel like home for me. And I would like also to thank Nagarkar ma'am and Kumar sir, to giving me this opportunity to talk on the topic, and also Siley for making all the arrangements and everything. So yeah. Before starting, if you have any questions, please mention them in the Q&A, and later on I will
Shraddha, can you make your video on? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Shraddha.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you make your video on?
Yeah, I'm not sure if my network will support that, to be
Okay.
very honest. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yes. Uh, Yes. So for today, we are going to look at some of the topics below, which are like what is corporate library, the concept and job opportunities for libraries in corporate sector, and some of the skills that are, used in libraries and librarians. And also we will look at some of the challenges that librarians face in corporate library.
Hello? I think Shraddha has a problem. Shraddha? Shraddha,
Yeah.
are you there? Yes, you have
Yes,
to.
yes, I'm there. I'm there.
Can
Yeah,
you
maybe that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I
like,
think my network connection has some problem today.
so can you shift it on your phone so that we can we will not have any.
Problem maybe. Yeah, can you see the screen now? Is it
Yes,
okay?
yes, we can.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I think. Yeah, so let's get started with, what is a corporate library. So yes, I'm not sure if that lady is actually working in a corporate or a school or anything, but I've taken that picture. So yes, so a corporate library is a special library serving the staff at the corporation. And there can be two types of corporate library. One, a physical library where there's a presence of physical library where employees, can use the library, and then you can take books, periodicals, study material along with the information services that the library provides. And second, according to me, is there is no physical library setup, but there's always a team, that manages the information needs of the enterprise and whatever, and the information requirements handled by the team, which is spread across the company. So let us, look at some of the job opportunities in corporate libraries. So yeah, some of them are at the large corporations like the financial services, like the company I'm working currently comes under the financial services. And then there can be insurance companies and companies in technology like TCS. Pharmaceutical companies, might also have library and provide, reference services to their employees or scientists or researchers. and maybe some manufacturing firms also requires a library or a team which can handle their information needs. Then then we have large retailers and e-commerce companies who need people to manage their data, and large products that they might have there in their catalog, like companies like Amazon, who also kind of require people from library science background, to manage their products and everything. And lastly, the companies from publishing media and industries, like so my previous organization was also into entertainment and media domain. So here also we need people coming from library science backgrounds, and they also hire them for their various information needs. Um, so some of the job titles here are, we will have a look, at the job titles used by different companies. So they more or less, are have the same job description, but they kind of use different names to refer their teams to. Like I was also a part of some of the organizations where they used names like information analyst or information scientist or information architect, for that example. So content specific roles are would be based for media based companies, and lastly metadata and taxonomy also for media based companies, like the one I previously worked for. So now I think we will have a look at some skills and competencies which are required to for these kind of jobs. So when you pursue your masters, there might be some skills you acquire as a part of your curriculum. But later on, if you want to work for such companies, there might be certain skills you need to acquire on your own. For example, some analytical skills, like large organizations have a large amount of data, and in order to work on that, one needs to have some basic analytical skills, like uh, SQL language, which is a query language, to use to fetch data from the databases. Some of the organizational or categorizational skills, like if classification of data, and if you have some physical setup you of a library then in a corporate, so there also you might need some different skills as well. So third one is the research skills. Now, if you take a job in different domain, for example, if you're working for a pharmaceutical company, then one might need some research skills to better understand the domain, to uh, in order to serve the information needs of the employees in a better way. Yeah. The fourth one is some technical skills. Like in your curriculum, you might have studied some of the softwares, but a specific company might need a different software than you have already studied. So in that case, you also need to acquire some software skills, which also comes under the technical skills and everything. uh, the last one is the ability to work with diverse people and the communication skills, which I think is really important, because if you work for large organizations, they might have there you might have to work with team members from across the globe, and one must have the ability to do so. So, for example, in my previous organization, I had to work with teams based out of UK. So, at first, it was very difficult to understand their accent and the way they spoke and everything. But I think after a later time, after a certain time, it becomes easier to understand their language and accent. So, yes, so that skills are also important. Now, these are all the basic skills that you need. But with the advancement in technology, now you have more and more libraries or organizations, who are using artificial intelligence to serve the information needs of their clients better. So, and as we, as a library science student or a librarian, should really up our game and learn more of these skills, like basic coding with Python. So which is also one of the skills I want to, acquire and is always on my wish list. So these basic coding skills will, take you along when you have to handle large amount of data in the organization. Then you have data visualization techniques like I worked on Power BI recently, and this is a wonderful tool to for data visualization using graphs and pivot tables and based on trainings like thesaurus constructions and maybe digital asset management, which is also a kind of one area where large corporates also work. Corporates like Airbnb and everything, they also need people who have certain skills in digital asset management, and you can attend conferences and seminars. This will which will help you to keep your information up to date. So I think with this we come to the end of the session. Thank you, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So yeah, I think over to Saili or ma'am.
Yes, we have many questions, Shraddha.
Okay.
Because I have many questions, and Kishore knows
Okay.
I always get attracted, and still I have so much of attraction to work in a corporate. Being
Okay.
spending so many years in academics, I feel to work in a corporate, and I encourage students to work in corporate. So I have before they have the questions. I know there are basic questions they have. What is a basic thing, that what is the salaries we can earn there, and what
Okay.
facilities we get
Mhm.
corporate than the academic, because we all know this is a professional course and we do this
Right.
to get the good job. So what is your answer?
Okay, so salaries, I'm not sure really. I can, comment because I'm not sure what a person in academics can earn, and it really depends on, your expertise and how much you can bring to the company and what skills you have. So it depends on really that. And if you have the right skills and if you have all the skills that okay, the job description, then the corporates are very, very happy to pay you handsomely. So I think
So,
that's there.
yes,
And facility wise, definitely you I can assure you that there are great facilities in the corporate. If you go for bigger brands and everything, they have a really good facilities
yes, I
like
think.
medical insurances and leaves and paid leaves, medical leaves and everything. So
Yes, so they get the good handsome salary than what corporate can offer. And tell us about the amount that Preetham Maral is asking, that what is the approximate salary starts from?
yeah, maybe we can take it later on, maybe offline. I can tell you.
Yeah, but what I have heard is it starts from 5 lakhs to 20 lakhs, because some of my friends 10 years back, I remember, they are earning from that, their salaries were 20 lakhs per month, per year, and
Yes,
more than that. I think it depends on how much you help to company to progress and earn more. So
right.
your salary, but that is a good handsome salary. But again, good time, that you can't expect that I will work during that time. So time also you can share that how much time you have to spend in these kind of jobs,
Time as in like
your daily hours, or how much
okay,
time.
daily hours. Yeah, it depends on company wise. Like my previous organization, we had to compulsory login for 8 hours. We had to give them that okay, we were working and log that time for 8 hours. But here at my current organization, we don't have such kind of things. We don't have to fill in timesheets and everything. So it depends on your task. If you have work, you'll definitely have to log in for that hours and complete that. So it's not really strict here.
Okay, so there are two questions. Is there any basic course, Mandar is asking, which enhanced all these skills? I don't think so.
Basics, yeah, there's no one basic course, but there definitely you can, go for Udemy courses, or maybe from Coursera, there are some courses, they're very, I cannot say cheap, but like for 400, 500, if you want to upscale, like maybe Power BI, if you want to learn it. So you have a course which will teach you Power BI and everything. And it is very, not very difficult. So same goes for if you want to learn some basic coding skills. You have all these things there available. So some courses available there definitely, but they're different, not only one course. And it depends on what skills you want to upgrade.
Okay, so do you think I will come back to you on that question, but let me take some of these questions and then I will ask you. Mandar is again asking which introduced all these concepts. I think she has answered. Praneet is asking, Shraddha, could you please enlist 5 certifications and aspiring corporate librarians must have?
Okay, sure. But depends on what, what exactly the domain you're targeting. I would say that.
Okay. Okay. So
But
whatever.
I will list it. But just give me some time. I'll just
Yeah. You can
take
list
them
it.
down.
Yeah. List it in a chat box. There,
Yes, sure.
yeah, you can list it there. But there are some. Yes, Shraddha's email ID I will share with you.
Yeah, sure.
Samadhan is asking PGD land courses are useful for career in corporate offices. Also,
Oh.
PGD land course that is introduced at various places, I think, is it useful to corporate office? Again, what she said, but Shraddha can answer this. But again, I think whatever courses she has mentioned, and she's going to list out some of them, those are useful. Rushabh is asking, please tell us about the content specialist. What do you mean the content specialist?
Yeah, so some companies, you have like the media companies have the content which is related to entertainment and media industry, like TV shows or movies, and you have to manage all those. So that comes under the content if you're looking for a media and entertainment industry. So that is what is content for them.
Okay. I will come back to you, but
Yep.
Sarika is asking, is industrial librarian post equivalent to managerial post?
Managerial post, so, you can, then managerial post depends. Like if you have a team you handle, then you definitely become a manager there. And if you're like an individual contributor, then you are an individual contributor. So it depends. If you have a team, then you can, proceed and do the management role.
Yes, Ganesh, Shraddha is going to list out some computer courses which are useful. So you will get the
Yes.
answer there. Prasanna is asking, how do you approach to company? If post is not advertised, how you come to know about such advertisements?
So you always have you can always go on LinkedIn. You can always go on Naukri, and you can create your profile and list out the things you have worked on, skills you have. So, and there are job postings. You can, give an email alert to those. So you definitely will get all those email alerts in your email, and then accordingly you can apply to any of the job postings that you are interested in.
Okay, so then there is one question from my side that uh, basically what you learn in 2 years of master's degree is how much you are going to apply that knowledge in your job before, because I think you learned a lot in a 1 year time period when you was working as a trainee in TCS. You learned a
Yes.
lot of things there, but you were working as a trainee, and then when you worked as a full-fledged librarian post, not a librarian but whatever different post, because I have seen there is no librarian word as such in those, but do they write in the advertisement that they need librarian skills or whatever you learn in these 2 years of course, how much you can apply in your work?
Yes. Okay. So definitely, I'll come to your question, the first part. I'll answer it in parts.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, definitely. So first part is what I learned, which is helping me into my corporate job and everything. So definitely. So first is the classification and cataloging, which I learned. So the taxonomy and everything is just an advanced things about taxonomy. Yeah, the classification and cataloging, which I learned in my master's degree for sure. So here I learned a few softwares in my course, but again later on I had to learn some softwares which were an advanced level to the softwares I learned in my masters. So definitely it was, a foundation for whatever skills I had to upgrade to work in my corporate professional things. So yeah, I think
Yes.
that was the foundation. So foundation base, which was really good, because you need to have that base. You need to understand what is classification. You need to understand what terms are, what is a thesaurus, and then only you can apply those into your professional skills. Yeah.
Yes. So as far as I know, that you have not handled the physical library as such, but you are working in different context. So can you tell us in short what kind of job you are doing?
Yeah.
So we will come to know that this you are doing it as a
Okay.
data analyst or in your earlier company even.
Okay. So at my earlier company, it was based for media and entertainment. So you can, so I'll give you an example. In a book, you kind of classify it, you catalog it. Similarly, you just replace the book with the content. Content is maybe a TV show or a movie. It also has a title. It also has a genre. It also has, maybe a lead actors and everything. So which we just replace that book. Imagine replacing a book with that digital content, a digital show or a TV show or a movie. So similarly, in that case, we have to classify a book in the similar way we classify that content. Only the difference is we don't have a physical book. We have that physical content, and we try, when it comes to uh, we kind of recommend. So like in library, you say, okay, if you're reading this book, you also might be interested in reading the similar kind of books. So suppose you're reading a book on Java, so you also might be interested in reading some similar books to that kind of books. So in this similar way, we kind of do recommendations for these content. So if, for example, if you're interested in watching movies of action genre or a comedy genre, so you might be interested in watching a similar kind of content. So we kind of do recommendations with the help of a recommendation engine that our company was working on. So it is similar to library, and all the skills that I learned during my course, I had to use that. So like the thesaurus construction and everything. So classification, like creating hierarchies for all these contents and everything. So yeah, it was related to that. And in my current role, so this is a financial based company. So here, so there are information needs of the clients or maybe the employees working in the company. So here we kind of have enterprise wide data domain that we manage. We have a software for that, and so we kind of cater to the information needs of our employees, in terms of if they have to search for certain information related to standards or everything, so we provide them that. But that is also handled via a software, and we have to create terms and definitions as well for all of these things.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we had some light electricity problem here.
Okay.
You can just list out those software, and
Okay.
Saili has given. Can you tell us about the taxonomies? I think that is an advanced version of classification. What Shraddha said.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
you
So
basically need to know the classification, knowledge of classification, and how you classify the things. Like knowledge
yes.
classification, we know. So
Right. Yes.
yes. So last question to Shraddha, and then we will move on. Do you think that we have to update our syllabus and we want your input? Because I think Saili, who is event coordinator, she has worked on syllabus analysis and she analyzed some 50 course contents of 50 universities master
Okay.
degree. So do you think we have to include Python and the software tools which you are mentioning in our course, or extra activities, workshops on that?
Yes, definitely workshops will help a lot, and maybe things like taxonomy creations in thesaurus. So these things also have their standards. Like they come with standards which they have. So definitely we can include those kind of things in maybe classification part, or maybe wherever they fit. So yeah.
Okay. 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 Thank you, Shraddha.
Yeah. Thank you so
Your
much.
email ID you can share with all of us.
Yes,
And
sure.
Mandar is again asking how it works and corporate nature. I think Mandar, we will wait for some another few 1 hour to that Kishore is going to throw light on his experiences, what rich experience he has. And Shraddha, thanks a lot for
Yeah, thank
sharing,
you so much.
because that is necessary for us. Like we have spent a lot of time on this in this
Yes.
profession, but what youngsters they are doing and what kind of skills they need, so we can change the syllabus, we can start some workshops on this area, and maybe we will take your help in that case. And Python and other things, many times we found that it may be difficult for us, we are not programmers, but I
Yes.
think some skills we need. Of course, we don't want to become software professional.
Yes. Yes.
That Shraddha is already is representing that she is not a library, she is not a software professional, but she is a
Yes, I'm not.
library science professional. So we are very proud that you are presenting that in corporate sector, where a lot of programming and other details are needed as a competency, what you said. So we will take some questions at the end, you be there, and we
Yeah,
will
sure.
move on to the next speaker. So can you unshare your screen so that,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much.
yes.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, we will share your feedback link to feedback session at the end. So I just hand over to now Saili to introduce our next speaker, Kishore. Can you please start on it? Saili?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Kishore. Hello.
Hi, Shobha.
Hi. We are very happy to see you here. Whenever we talk about corporate, I just remember you, and now Shraddha is there.
Right.
Yes, there are many good friends, but we always take your help in understanding this librarianship. So thanks a lot. Saili, please introduce our guest.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to introduce our next resource person, Mr. Kishore Ingre, sir. Currently, sir has been heading TCS Pune and Nagpur Information Resource Center. Since last 17 plus years, he is working with Tata Consultancy Services Limited. Initially, he was part of Corporate Office Mumbai. Then he moved to Pune as branch head, managing service for Tata Research Design and Development Center. Prior to this, he worked as programmer with National Informatics Center, that is NIC, Government of India. Next, he worked at Wockhardt Research Center, Lipsis Corporation, Reserve Bank of India. Now he has published 9 technical papers and presented three papers in international conferences in Japan, Thailand, and India. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. I would request Kishore, sir, to guide all of us. Please, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Saili and Shubhada. And most important is thanks to Shraddha. She has set a stage very nicely, and then I could see the very interesting question answer. So before I go to my presentation and sharing my thoughts, I would like to pick up few question answers which probably Shraddha could not answer, or she deliberately decided not to answer those kind of things. So Shubhada, I'm taking with your question first. How much is the
Yes.
salary range comes to a
Yes.
corporate library? Everybody works for money only. So
Yes.
it
Yes.
starts from 3 lakh to 50 lakh. as on today.
Wow.
Right? Okay. Then there was an interesting question. Somebody was asking, are the corporate librarians always get into managerial position? See, nobody becomes a manager directly. See, when you are getting into academics also, even if you are applying for a college librarian, they expect you to have 3 to 5 years experience. Or you start your career with a very small college. The activities over there are equivalent to a library assistant into university. So there is always a vertical scope for people. So nobody directly jumps over the moment you clear your MLIS or whatever education, you don't directly get that kind of a post, but there is a vertical growth available in corporate sector. That was another question. Then there were a lot of questions people were asking, what kind of tools we should use, what kind of softwares you have been using, can you please name it, whether my PGD LAN will help me or whatever those kind of courses. So in corporate library, what happens, these tools are certainly important, but what is the most important is your personal individual attributes are more important, because these tools and then services will vary from a organization to organization and a kind of a domain also. See, I have myself worked into pharma R&D, I have worked into banking and financial services, and I'm working into IT and consulting services. There are a couple of other, say for example, law, media and entertainment, manufacturing. So the domain changes, the attributes or the requirement changes. So whatever is required for a law library may not be applicable for me into a pharma library or in a banking library. Whatever is required into consulting library may not be required into manufacturing setup kind of something. So the skills required, anyway, I'll be covering it into my presentation also. They vary from a domain to domain also. That was another question. Then I think there were a couple of other difficult questions. So what we will do is we will also take them. Don't worry. Some of those will come to me also once we finish it also. As I said, okay, what is most important is that how do you take your attributes and how do you look into your job also, that kind of things. So let me just start with sharing my
Yes.
screen. Mm-hmm. Not notepad, not notepad. Okay, let's see. Complete screen. I'm just sharing it. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes. Not yet. Some other screen. No. Yes. Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
what we'll be talking about is the job opportunities and skills and competencies required for corporate sector. And somebody asked us, yes, how does the corporate library looks? What exactly they do? So that is what I'm going to start with this one. And I also have my colleague Ashwini, who will also happen to be alumni of our department only. And I'll be pulling her in between whenever I want her to be there. So what I will do is I just stop this screen also. Yeah. Right. So there are three kind of roles in any of the corporate library. Predominantly, I'm just generalizing it, and when I'm generalizing it into IT and consulting companies kind of something. So there are first basic role is a library management. Whatever you do, your books acquisition, journals acquisition, procurement of something, circulation, that kind of things. What we learn into our BLIS and MLIS. The next step is the information services or the business analysis. So here adds a lot of things come over current awareness service, SDI, and then business analysis, that kind of things. And the pick goes into market research. So whatever services, whatever we have learned it over here, that you can show all your skills into a market research kind of activities over there. There was one question I think you only asked, Shubhada, whatever we are learning into our library science course, whether it has an application over there. So predominantly, see, the library management activities are being done by the librarians only, but the business analysis and market research people still prefer to have a MBA people and the domain experts. But here, when we tried it to get into our hands into these activities also, we realized it the librarians are better equipped into information research. So they are able to collate information from a multiple sources, put it over there. Only what we need to do is we need to have an analytical mindset and then domain knowledge. If you are able to put it over there, we are much better than the domain experts or the MBAs over there, because those people they lack these skills. So at times we realize it because people used to ask us a lot of information very earlier. I remember when we started 15, 16 years back with the TCS, people used to ask us a lot of information. And we never knew what exactly they do with that information. So we started interacting with them, and then we realized it, okay, what is the basic information we generated? They just do it a analysis or they built a story based on the information. and then they represent it to the outsider. So the question yours was whether whatever skills we teach our people, students, yes, they are very crucial skills, whatever we are learning into library science, but it depends on individual, how do you use them and how do you apply them over there. So what I will do is I will take you through some examples. So few examples of information services and queries into corporate library. And then I will just leave a question to all of you people, or those who are academic librarians, or those who wants to be budding a librarian, or who wants to be into corporate sector. Let them ponder it, okay, whether I'll be able to do these kind of things also. And then they may ask some questions also there. So what I will do is I have some examples of information services and queries which comes into a corporate sector, and I have my colleague Ashwini. Ashwini will take it. So Ashwini, over to you. And this is the presentation. So Ashwini, you can start with the basic query of electricity theft query in South Africa. Over to you, Ashwini. I will scroll the screen whenever you tell me. I will just change the screen also.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
1 second, Ashwini. Just before that, sorry, I forgot to tell Saili and Shubhada. Saili, now what we will have to do is we will have to stop the recording of this session, because I was not aware that we are going to record it. And when I spoke to Shubhada in the afternoon that we'll be putting it onto YouTube. So some of the information which we'll be putting it over here is a confidential, and we cannot allow it to be recorded over there.
Okay.
Please stop the recording. What we will do is
Yes, Sunil, please stop the recording.
What we will do is we will record a separate session with a TCS public information, because some of the information which we plan to share with you is a TCS confidential, and then myself and Ashwini will be in trouble in that case.
Okay.
Because we have not taken a permission for that. Yeah, over to you, Ashwini. Library. So yes, it can be done. So thank you. So what is the difference between the corporate libraries and other libraries also? So first and most important is the reference sources are different. Whatever databases, analysis reports, company websites, public domain, whatever we study into BLIS and MLIS probably may not be useful. Part of that will be useful. But what you understand, say, when you are doing a high level calculus, you essentially know what exactly is a basic mathematics. So basic mathematics we study during a school or junior college, and that is useful for doing a complex calculation, the same thing. So basic things required for any kind of information research, we are learning into library science. So our resources are different, our services are different. Our customers are altogether different. They are very demanding as well as they are very helping, and they value the library team and services. It's not that we never felt that the librarian is a neglected person. Last week we had our annual business strategy planning meeting in Pune. You won't believe our CIO, our CEO, and kind of a CXO level people shelled out time for interacting with all of us. Some of them came physically here, some of them connected with us through digitally, electronically, using a Teams and other tools we have. So it's not that in any other domain, librarian. It's not that the case. They value the library team. They say, meet so and so person. He's our librarian, and that kind of a value in a society you get into corporate library. The services are very demanding. If you have seen the whatever 3, 4 these services, these are the day in and day out kind of a queries. All our team members have been doing it over there. It's not an easy task. So when you get a 50 lakh of a salary, it's not an easy cakewalk. Okay, you go there. There's a huge cabin. There is a shipai who will be bring a water and tea and coffee for you. Nothing happens over here. So even though we have the cabins and other things, they are basically meant for a discussion and communication, not for your grade or not for your position. So that kind of services are very demanding. Work culture is altogether different. We don't have a sir or madam work culture. Predominantly, we call everybody with the first name, and that's how we have been projecting it also. And then you can approach anybody over there. I don't think Shraddha had any issue while approaching any of a center head here while working with us. When even though she was a trainee, and the same thing applies for Ashwini and other things, they can talk to any of the business unit head with the same comfort that way they can speak with any of our team member also. Then expectations as a team player are altogether different over here. So whatever you may be, I may be very junior person, I may be very senior person, but expectations as a team player are different into a corporate sector. And timings are different. What Shubha was asking a question, do you need to work out extra timings and other things? Yes, it's not only a specific timing, 9 to 6 at 9 o'clock you are there, and then 6 o'clock now I am done, I'm going home. Nothing. So that timings is no limit. And specifically when you are working with people who are spread across a multiple geographic and multiple time zone, then you have a different difficulty also at times. Training opportunities are very different into corporate sector. And when I say training opportunities, because they train you on the all latest technologies, they also train you on the multiple things which probably we may not be even thinking also. And the major important thing into corporate library training is people take a training as very seriously. It's not like any other place where when librarian goes for training, I'm sorry to say that most of the time they take it as a picnic. You ask them ki what are the three things they have learned, what are the two things they have learned it during that program, and then what are they going to implement it. Just ask those who are senior people in this particular call, just ask these questions to yourself: how many trainings we have attended, and what are the learnings I have done it from there, whether I have documented it, and whether I am using it into my day-to-day work over there, and then you will know the answer for this one. Then career path is also altogether different here. You can grow horizontally as well as vertically. Suppose I don't want to get into library management, I can get into information services. Somebody will say, no, I don't want to get into information services. I would like to have only acquisition of a databases and other things, that kind of things also. So you can grow horizontally as well as vertically. And then what is the most important is the mindset and flexibility, which is a key differentiating factor while working into any of the corporate library. Now I will just talk about the what are TCS IRC activities portfolio. So what we into TCS IRCs, we do it into this one. So basic is the library management is there. So information and resource services, whatever we do with the information and reference services, we have two kind of services. There are current awareness services, and then there are reactive information services. Whatever we do it, people have a query, they raise a query, and then we give that to them. Whatever Ashwini has shown you, these are the information services, and then we also have a products. So we also compile the products. We do a summarization, a lot of products and other things, which goes to a lot of people in organization. Then we also, as information research is there, I will just touch to the invent and inspire after some time. We are also into intellectual property and then that kind of things, also copyright and patent summarization. So if I ask any of the librarian, okay, what do you do into this particular domain? Oh, I'm sure 99% of our people will say, okay, we do a patent search. Beyond that, I don't think anybody will have something to say that, okay, we do this one. So that is not the case with the corporate library. When we were working into this one, we summarized the patents. Close to 500 patents were summarized by the library team member in an easy way. Because otherwise, if you see any of the patent abstract and everything is over there, but if you read the abstract, the first page you will feel sleepy. Forget about the next pages and other things. The moment you start reading a patent, it is most complicated thing. So putting that things into a simple word is a one activity. So we did that kind of things. All copyright clearances, whatever it's, whether it's a code or whether, because in India code cannot be patented, it can be only copyrighted, or it's a non-code document. So whatever the documentation TCS is preparing, all 75% of the copyright activities are being handled by the library team. We are also into information research. A lot of our people, they work collaboratively with the market research team and other people. And what kind of activity, what Ashwini has shown it to you, they enhance their skill while learning with those people, and they do that kind of a queries with while dealing into day-to-day activity. Invent and Inspire is an initiative from our library or organization. Whatever inventors we have a strong R&D team. Close to 500 odd scientists are working over there. So what kind of inventions they have done it, what kind of work they have been doing it. So you connect with those people, have their bites, communicate with them, create a short summaries of that one, and publish it on our library webpage over there, and inspire some more people to get involved into that kind of a co-innovation or innovation activities. So that is a kind of a outreach activity or marketing activity. What you can do is, so some of these, there are many more. I can list out another 2 pages activities also there. But these, why I'm just selecting these activities, because I will be touching to skills and competencies required. That's what is I was told by Saili to cover into today's session. So these are the kind of a portfolio what I thought that I'll just share with you people. I am just included this one particular slide over there. This is a job description. So this is a job description for a information research work. What Ashwini has shown it to you doing this one. So these are the skill sets required. So this only while in the morning I was just going through it, I realized it, okay, this is the one good thing I can add it. So if you see over here, ability to conduct qualitative and quantitative research. This is what we learn into our library science. High ability in data analysis, infographics, insight generation. Have you seen the presentations created by let's say Ashwini or even Shraddha also earlier? The presentation is altogether different. The way the academic science or the other people create a presentation, you can make out, oh, this is a different presentation. The kind of infographics they have used, the kind of a bullet points they have mentioned, kind of a color combination, other things are done it. It's a different. You can make out it at the back of your mind also. So whether you have that kind of a skill also, passion for research and advanced capabilities in presentation. So presentation skill is more important for you. Capability to engage with a multiple stakeholder, including leadership across the organization. Capability to demonstrate thought leadership, demonstrate capability of research advisory and consulting role. Then these are the technical and behavior. They say these are the required things. These are the must-have competencies, and these are good to have kind of competencies. Verbal and written ability to communicate expected information and blah 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 blah. So these are the. This is what is the job description, and believe me, 80 to 90% of these things we have been taught into our library science course, and then you can hone these skills and competencies once you get into that kind of things. Most important thing what is required is your mindset. So what kind of a skill sets are required if I have to tell somebody, okay, now that was too difficult, too technical, right? We cannot articulate the way these people have articulated over there. So I'm just trying to simplify it. So when we look forward, so normally in any of the IT company or any of the corporate library, they don't have a lateral hires. So lateral hire is somebody who is having a 5 years, 10 years, 10 years, 15 years experience and getting into your organization. Why? Because every organization has a different culture. Every organization has a different kind of a requirement. So they have to groom people working with them. So initially when we hire any one of those people, I don't think for first 2 years we give this kind of activity to any one of them. So Shraddha was with us. We never gave this activity to Shraddha. Pranit, who is there in today's call, we never give this activity to Pranit that time. Probably we just gave them a small activity and we were observing. So they were under observation that point of time also. And same thing after spending some time, you can see the transformation, what Ashwini has shown it to you. And we have a lot of examples. So what we look forward, any of the corporate library when they go for a job, so most of the 80 to 90%, I'll say 95% of the time, the job requirements into IT sector are at an entry level or maybe 2 to 3 years experience. So when we look forward for a people, there are two kind of a skill sets we need it. One is a technical skill sets where we need for a basic computer awareness, MS Office presentation and Excel. So I have seen a lot of people saying that I'm excellent into MS Office and presentation. Just ask one question to all of you people who say were writing in your CV, I'm excellent into presentation. How many of you will be able to create a presentation the way Shraddha and Ashwini has created? They say I'm very good into verbal communication and written communication. Just imagine what kind of a details Ashwini and Shraddha has put it into presentation, or what kind of information while putting it over there, or information the organization they have been able to do it over there. How many of you really are up to that particular level? Excel skill, obviously, for data management and other things. Beyond that, we need to also have an introduction to collaboration tools like Office 365 or Google Workspaces and other things, because most of the corporate people, they work on these collaborative tools today. Then it will be good to have a content management tools like a SharePoint, data management, data analysis and visualization. Power BI is the one example which Shraddha was sharing with you. So exposure to those kind of things. These also what if these are the good to have tools, means these are the what these are the skills which we look into a people when we are hiring them into a technical area. There are some kind of a soft skills over there. See communication skills, verbal, written, body language, information repackaging. See overview of see if you are compiling some information, giving a report to other people, that is only just giving that information. That doesn't make a sense. So it's a overview only. What is more important? Information analysis. You read the reports, you add a contextual knowledge to that one. The way Ashwini was putting it, so we are looking for this one. So what kind of things they have done it? Who are their competitors? What kind of a role they jobs they are outsourcing? That details also. So that's the analysis she has done it, and then she has put her views into a presentation over there. And then finally, marketing and event management. These kind of soft skills are essential when you join into any of the corporate library. And the most important is their kind of attitude you have, what value you deliver to your customer. So you should be always thinking, whatever activity I am doing it, what value I am doing it to my customer. When there is a query coming to a Kuwait University library, she could have just even browsed through a link, or she could have said the simplest thing is this is a link from where you can get all information. Second thing is, okay, she has just taken it over there from some information compiled from there. She could have given it to her. Now, what she had done is she has just compiled it everything. Who are the key people? What kind of departments are there? What are their strategies? What they have been having it? What is their ranking and other things also? So nobody asks us if you see the questions they were asking us. So then nobody asked them to give this kind of information. So just going through that 10 slide ka presentation, that particular person whosoever is going to deal with them, he or she has got a complete idea of a Kuwait University, and the same case applies for the another queries also doing this one. So what value you deliver to your customer, and this mindset is the most important mindset when you are working with the academic libraries also. This is what I thought I will just share with you. I am open for any of the question answer you have, and then I also wanted to show you some more details. Let me just open my. Okay, I'll continue to share this one. To PDF reader, yeah. Now, some of you might be thinking, "Okay, how do you see this kind of a reference sources?" So this is a report, IDC report or somewhere. So what these people do is they literally go through it, they digest it, and then accordingly they put it over there. So this is an example of a reference sources, what these people are using it over there. And then when you compile some information services, you also compile some bulletins and other things. So when somebody knows, says that I'm very good into presentation, MS Office and other things, so these are the basic things they have done it by the using these tools over there. They have not used any specific application for that. It's a skill, basic skills, what kind of a thing you are putting it, how you are putting it over there. So compiling information bulletins like this one is another activity. Or when you are compiling any of the query for this one, what this was a report, whatever they have prepared the report for this one. So you just see the way they have put it over there, the way they have organized the information, the color combinations. You can just simply go to any of the places also, and what are the important activities they have covered into this one. So this is something about the executive summary. This report is talking about what is the innovation and something TCS research and innovation journey executive summary. What are the details? What are the other competitors who are with whom we are collaborating? Where are they? What they exactly have been doing it? So this kind of a information repackaging, when we say information repackaging, so it's not a simple thing. They have just not read it somewhere. So they have digested this information and put it over here, putting it into this kind of thing. So generating this kind of information services is what required. Now, if you see here, these are some of our competitors information and other things. So what we have been sharing. So this goes to a very senior management, and they use it for generating a business. So when they use it for generating a business, the librarians are directly and indirectly, they are getting into that kind of a revenue earning model. So I don't have to say how much money we have generated, but it's indirectly by helping our library, our senior management, how much revenue my management is able to generate it. That's how we get calculated, our importance get calculated over there. I think it's almost 5:30. I'm sure there will be some 10 to 15 minutes kind of question answer. Expecting a lot
Yes.
of questions from all other party people. Otherwise, whatever Harikatha Kirtan I wanted to do it, I have done it. There are a lot of good examples, and then you will see. In fact, in my own library, I have Dr. Bhojraju Gunjal, who is a librarian who was into KM practices. There is another person you must be knowing, Mr. Anand, Dr. Anand, who was a GE librarian, now heading the ISC library. So librarians have a good role to play. You know, in my own experience in last 30 years, Shubhada, I have been always saying, Ki Kishore, what do you do? And then I would like to be into this side. And I say, Shubhada, Dilya Garitu Sukira, whatever you are doing is there, because kind of a pressure here you have. You won't believe, I always end up in fighting with my wife. You don't pick up my call. When you come at home, you are still on the mobile only. Or whenever you are going for a picnic, you also have a laptop with you. But still, there is a work-life balance. I can still manage to get a leave for a 15 days trek to Himalaya and everything. So what are the advantages? Somebody was saying, okay, what are the advantages and other things? The way Shraddha was saying, it's not only a salary at times, the kind of an environment you work into. You might be getting a 2 lakh rupees per month, but you have to go and sit into dusty environment over there, and you don't have anybody else and people don't talk to you. How do you feel about it? That after some time, if you see the Maslow's triangle, that money doesn't matter, and whatever is
Yes.
required for our day-to-day activity, even the library assistant can make it, an assistant librarian also can do it, and the librarian also can do it with the same amount also there. So it matters ki what kind of a social things you have, what kind of a ability or directives you have. Now, believe me, Ashwini can take a call about subscribing a 2 lakh or 5 lakh rupees worth of a databases, and she can put it over there, and once I approve it, it directly goes for a payment. I don't need to worry about this one. In fact, I always say I am the one of the luckiest librarian who never had a budget as a constraint while working into any of the corporate libraries. When I was into OCAD, I went to Dr. D'Souza. I remember that time I said, how much budget? He said, Kishore, why are you worrying about the budget as such? Budget, I said, I need to put it something. He says, put a 40 lakh rupees. It is in 1998, 40 lakh rupees was a single person managing a library was a budget given to me. When I moved to the RBI, we were minting the money. So there was no budget as a constraint. We used to spend 2 crores rupees every month, every year over there. When I came to TCS, my organization has never said to me for want of a budget and something else also. So whenever we justify something, budget is always there. So having this kind of a responsibility and authority is also important thing. So you get a 2 lakh rupees of a salary, but you don't even have a authority to spend something for a 50 rupees for your own team, or you have to go to somebody else. It makes a big difference for you. So there are a lot of other fringe benefits which we cannot get into many other places, but they are available to you into corporate libraries. So these are the another examples.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kishore. It was really inspiring, and thanks a lot. There is one question. I think Sonali has raised the hand. Sonali, can you unmute Sonali? Would you like to ask some question, or you have raised the hand? Sharad, please ask your questions. Can you unmute them?
Or they can type in and I am just reading it into chat box.
Yes, Sudhakar is asking, can you give me information about the work from home opportunities in corporate sector, especially for library professionals?
Yes, so in any of the libraries, work from home will be there. But see, normally what happens, if you are close to your users, you will understand it more. Normally, just imagine while working from home, what happens if I'm into any of the call and other things, the moment I'm call is done, there is some other point which will take me away from my job and other things. Maybe I will just wanted to have a cup of tea also there, or maybe my son is asking, Papa, what you are doing it, or my wife is saying, will you be able to pick me up in the evening? So that kind of things are not there while working into office. So even though the work from office or work from home was there, but almost all the organizations now asking people to be in office at least 3 times a week. In my organization, all our senior people are supposed to be there in office every day, and all other junior people at least 3 times a week. And then I don't think it will be a permanent work from home kind of an environment, at least for a librarians. We may get a luxury to work from home for a day or two, but at least minimum 3 days we will have to work from the office, and that will be the same structure everywhere into all other corporate libraries also.
Yes, thank you. Any other question? Anybody has raised the hand? Sonali, you want to ask any question? Okay, they must be digesting everything. One question that I want to know, whether you use Google for that, Google for any search or any kind of information that you want to fetch, because I know you are subscribing many industry related databases which are different from academic databases. So do you use Google, and is it allowed to use it?
Yes, we do use Google, and then many times we also depend on Google. So how do you search information effectively? Shubda, I learned it from you when we created a program for a BKC and Shirpur 20 years back. That time we learned it from you, and we use a Google effectively. But normally what happens when you are giving the information, if you see the presentations done by Ashwini at the end of the last slide was, what are the sources she has used it over there?
Yes.
So we also use the public domain sources. So we also use a Google.
Yes.
But at times what happens, the Google information, unless it's coming from a reliable source. Say for example, if I am quoting a statistics of a NISO, so NISO, I can directly go from Google to NISO and then use some information. So that is something reliable, but we need to see the reliability of information. So we do search Google.
Yes.
We do use a Google extensively.
Yeah.
In fact, in my organization, we have 2 different teams. One of them is using completely Google Workspaces. Another one is using completely O365 Workspaces. So those people are already on Gmail and everything for their official purpose also. All the collaboration tool, they use it from a Google, and another team uses all the collaboration tools from a Microsoft also. And the recent case in a European environment, now Europe has given alternative to both Microsoft and Google. See, they were not interoperable. So they have told them, okay, you need to make your things interoperable. So whatever I do it on my Google form, I should be able to take it into Excel sheet and then get it into my Office 365 environment also. So they are also working on that now. So in very soon we will have both the environment interacting with each other.
Okay.
Yes. Is there any time limit to complete the query? Very good, Sham. Yes, what we call it as service level agreements. So what happens in any of that is the best thing in the corporate. So let's say, for example, if I ask you what is the timing of a Deccan Queen, if I ask you today and you tell me tomorrow, it's of no use. So whenever we raise any of the query, there are two kind of a service level agreements. We say how much time it took for you to start working on that query and how much time it took for you to close the query. So that is one of the area on which we people have been evaluated. How many work we have done it, how much time was taken over there, and what is the user feedback on that one, how is the user rating me, whether excellent, good or bad, and other things. Based on that, the person is evaluated. See, in corporate library, what happens, your salary can increase per month 10,000 rupees, or it can decrease also. I don't think you have experienced that your salary can decrease also. So in my organization, it can decrease also. So I have seen my salary increasing by 10,000 and then decreasing by 15,000 also, because somebody else was doing better than me during that time. So that happens over there.
Okay.
Yes, is there any staff limit for a corporate library, and how it is? Very good. There is a staff limit. See, whatever work you do, it is all quantified. We have a timesheet as a constraint. So in short, what we do, when I get into office that day, at the end of the day, I say, okay, today 9 hours. For 1 hour, I was working at the counter. For 2 hours, I was working into so and so query. For another 2 years, 2 hours, I was interacting with my customers. For another 1 hour, I was facilitating a video show over there. So at the end of the day, what all activities I am doing it, that we look into this one. We try to analyze it and then see what kind of activities can be automated. How many of these are value adding activities and how many of these are non-value adding activity. So every minute you are spending in office is get counted. It's not that okay, you just punch in, go there, keep your bag, go for a 1 hour tea break and then 1 hour to lunch break. That doesn't work over here. So we know how much work is being done by how many people, and then you are being compared. If there are 3 people, if I'm doing a 2 queries in a day, and similar kind of 3 queries are being done handled by Ashwini, it means Ashwini is doing much better than that. Ashwini's rating will be 5 and Kishore's rating will be 2, and then accordingly Ashwini will get a salary and Kishore will not get a salary. So they everywhere, and if somebody doesn't work for a long time, then they are being sent to their performance appraisal process, and then we also put them into mechanism wherein they need to improve their performance, and then if they are not able to improve it, we show them the way out. Ye dekha, badga nahi dekha. That is the reason I always say you have seen only one side of that one, you have not seen the other side.
Yes, yes, there are.
What about the work environment in a corporate library? It's one of the best work environment. I normally used to encourage people to come and visit in our library or in other places also. So whatever you are expecting from the organization, they are always there. We have a fantastic gym. We have a place where we can have a bath, sauna bath. We have a playground. We have a time to do this one. When I'm doing something, my organization gives me a money for organizing a trek. Or if I want to do something, I wanted to become a member of a particular institution, my organization gives me money. There's a tea coffee vending machine kind of environment I have, it's always there. Yes, the infrastructure and other things is always there. Is academic library experience is considered for a corporate library. When we recruit a people at the entry level, initial 2-3 years experience, we do consider them. But there are two kind of experiences: the total experience, another one is the relevant experience. So when we seek you, what kind of institution you are working, what kind of work you are doing it. So probably somebody, let's take for example, somebody might be having a 3 years experience into academic library, but it may be only equivalent to 1.5 year of my relevant experience. So we do consider it as a 1.5 years as a relevant experience. Can a fresher join at a corporate library or some experience is needed? Yes, in fact, most of the corporate library jobs are for fresher. Ideally, we look for somebody who is a fresher or maybe having 1 or 2 years of experience.
Yes.
Yes. Do you always have to convince management about your initiatives or tool? No, you don't need to. But whatever you are doing, if you wanted to ask money to your parents for a pocket money, they will certainly ask you, how are you going to spend it? So whatever initiative or activity we do it, we just tell them, we share it very openly. I can directly go to any one of my people. See, I remember when we started working into this area, I just went to my management. I said, yeah, it will be good to have a smart TV into library, and we will do these kind of things also. You won't believe it was costing 1.5 lakh rupees that time. And next month I had a smart TV in my library. There was no quotation business, nothing, no approval and other thing. I just convinced them and they said, this is how I'm going to use it. And then I was able to get it not only in my library. They said, this is a good idea. Let us implement it into other libraries also. So we gave it to the many other places also. Yes, there is a lot of scope into academic librarians. Believe me, I was looking for a person for heading my library at a Nagpur.
Yes.
Normally, we don't have a lot of lateral hiring openings also there. I was literally struggling, and then with a great difficulty, we could just connect with 2 to 3 people, and then it's in progress now. So there are openings, but lateral hire positions are very minimal. Normally, people train them, still recruit them at the entry level. And the reason I said that, okay, whatever you might have learned it into other places may not be useful for me. So we can groom him or her the way we want it in our organization, and then that's how we work with them. So we train them, and then they grow vertically into organization. So there are openings over there.
Yes.
Yes, industry librarians get the facilities same like the other managers and engineers. There are no differentiation. Sometimes we are also better than the other people also over there.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I
the
think,
best thing is how can we get the job opportunity, or how can we apply for the corporate library. This shows how much. See, normally what you need to do is, how many of you know how many corporate librarians are there, and then how do they get? Somebody also was asking a questions to Shraddha, how do you get into this one? So there are two things. One is that first of all, you need to build the right context. You need to be in touch with those professional forums. You also need to have kind of a skill set which you are updating it into your LinkedIn profile or a couple of other places also. So we also normally, most of the corporate librarians, whenever we do a recruitment, we put their advertisement into professional forum. And sometimes, just to avoid it, we also recruit a people from our connects also. So for example, whenever I was recruiting a mass, I used to send a mailers into a list forum and other places, and also used to put a printout into department also. But now then, when I was looking for somebody for my Nagpur, I knew the moment I will put it over there, I will end up in spending almost 2 hours every day getting a call from our friends and other people, ki this so and so is good person and other things. So we did not put it over there. We did not advertise it. So those people were connected through a personal connect. So you need to connect maintain that kind of a connect also. And that is the basic thing. The person who is very well connected with other people is the basic quality we are looking for. You should be able to work with a heterogeneous kind of a people. So that's what we do it over there.
yes. I think we will stop here.
Yeah, no, there are just a minute. I think we are up to 6 o'clock,
Yeah,
Shubhada, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't mind taking 1 or 2 more
Yes,
questions.
no problem.
Somebody asking here, convincing something where results can be seen by them immediately. So some of the things, see, normally what happens, there are proof of concept, what we call them as a proof of concept. So what you do is you just put a proof of concept to the across people. They will ask you some questions. And I know, say, for example, if I'm saying, okay, we need to build a bridge over there, and then once we build a bridge, this will be the advantage and other things. So people will ask you the question. They won't say, okay, you build a bridge and then let me see how many people cross from there. So you give a proof of concept, and then they may ask you, and then accordingly they can do it. So it's a proof of concept, and then discussions are also enough for there.
Okay, Sagar.
Yeah, no, we don't publish it. I mean, openings for TCS library. Unfortunately, now we don't have many of the recruitment happening into this one. There was very stray, because we already have probably the Asia's biggest corporate library network. We have got 102 people, professionals working with us. And I don't think any other corporate library has got 102 professional librarians working with them. So currently we don't have any openings over there.
So any effect of pandemic on recruitment, have you seen that?
In fact, what happened during a pandemic, the librarians who were able to reskill themselves and then adopt new changes and other things, they have excelled like anything. And those who were not able to do the reimagining the library and other things, they have lost their job, or the organizations have changed their job profile. So they were working as a librarians earlier, their job profiles have been tremendously changed over there. As per your opine, Nashik is suitable for corporate library profession. Of course, every location is suitable. There are also like organization like Bosch and other things. I'm sure they must be having some kind of places over there into Nashik. I have not explored it. I remember Mahindra and Mahindra used to have Mr. Ashutosh Joshi was one of our very good friend from that place. Was from Nashik. There is no unique portal as such where it will give you the opportunities. That's what I'm saying. How well you are network, how well you are connected with other people, that also helps Sonali to know about the details.
Yes.
Yes, Shubhra, I just stopped you in between. You were saying something.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to know that if there are no questions, 1 or 2 questions I have, that what
Yes,
I
I should.
Because we are learning lifetime, and I learned a lot, because nowadays I have to again come back to teach IT basic course, because one of our colleagues, she has resigned, and that paper has come to me. And
Right.
last year it was half of the paper I taught, and now I have to teach for the first year students. And I learned a lot from both of your presentations that we should teach them these infographics. We have to give them, we have to, what I say that whenever I'm teaching them Google and we give them queries, we have to tell them that present it like with the help of infographics and other way, that maybe I will call you for that for 1 or 2 sessions to teach them how to do this if possible. Or
Ashwini will be a better person than me because
yes,
she works on the ground.
yes, and I'm very proud that Ashwini and Shraddha were students, and now totally they are different for us and really different professionals. I'm very, very proud looking at them and their presentation skills. They were totally different in as a student, and now as a professional, they are totally complete professionals, and I'm very, very happy. So maybe I will call them to take 1 or 2 sessions, how to analyze the queries and other things. We do give them queries for the Google, but other databases also. So the queries which you solve are very, very difficult and real life stories. So those kind of queries we have to give them to solve, so that when they come out of the school, I think they will gain those kind of skills and some other skills also. That's what I have learned. So I just want to conclude here, and I want to hand over it to Pange sir, who is our senior retired. Yes, yes, Kishore.
Yeah, a lot of questions people have been asking us, where do you get a jobs and other things. So I remember, if you have seen my first slide, I was just saying that the last line which I did not read it. If you are looking for a librarian's profile, then corporate library is not your place to work for. Then it's no place. But yes, there is a huge demand of the skill sets which we have been mentioning,
Yes.
and kind of industries are KPO, knowledge process organization, market research companies, consulting companies like a McKinsey or Ernst and Young. So how many of you people connect with them? You know what kind of activities they are doing, what kind of consulting work they are doing it. So if you understand them, when you track them, you will know more about it. And most of those places, then automatically, see, normally what happens, the moment you start working with those people, you automatically get into that circle, and then you will also know, people will also know, okay, he or she has got that kind of skills or willing to learn. Normally, most of the corporate library people, they are willing to give a helping hand to anybody else also. See, as Shubhada says, okay, learning is continuous. Both of us also still continue to learn from each other. The other day, it was almost 11:30, and none of us wanted to go home. But next day, next day, I had to come in the office by by 6:30, so I have to leave Shubhada. So what happens ki people are always helping over there. So once you connect with those people, you will also know what kind of openings are there, and then you can select some of the jobs. In fact, there is a one more job which we have neither me nor Shraddha has touched into this one. Nowadays, a lot of databases and other things are there. So the marketing people.
Yeah.
So who will be able to do the why some engineer should be able to do a marketing for EBSCO and why not the librarian? Why somebody from the IT sector should be able to do a marketing for a remote connectivity, and why not the librarian? Because librarian is the right person to explain that kind of things also over there. So there is a huge opportunity for doing that kind of a work. If you have that kind of skills, that is also another area. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Now I'm eager to listen from my Guruji, Dr. Pange.
Yes, and one more, that do you have internship kind of things that other professionals they have, like engineers, they have internship, or can we send our students 2 months to TCS?
Yes, in fact, if you remember, we were discussing before you
Yes.
took up a activity of designing revamping the syllabus. I just gave this an idea that we should have one specialized course of 100 marks, which will tell you, okay, librarianship into medical, and librarianship into IT and consulting, librarianship into law, librarianship into pharmaceutical and chemical libraries, like that. But the question is that okay, only this librarianship courses should be taught by the practicing librarian and not by my teachers, with
Yes.
all due respect to all my teachers and other things.
Yes, yes.
Second thing, everybody whosoever is doing that course, my personal feeling is that it should be 70 marks course which will be taught into university, and 30 marks will be for a actual working into any of the organizations over there. So if there are people who are willing to do this one, I don't mind accepting those people. See, as of now, what is happening, we don't have a stipendary internship with us.
Yes. Okay.
And we are located in far off place also. So for 3 months, I can certainly accommodate some people. And stipendary internship, we used to offer them, we used to take them as a trainee. A lot of people, they have been trained with us, and then we are very proud to see them working into multiple organizations over there. So non-stipendary, yes, I can work out anytime.
Okay, thank you so much. We will tap you that time. So over to Pandya sir for vote of thanks and summary of this whole session. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. And
just 1 minute, sir. I want to introduce you as another introduction. He is Shraddha's father.
now people will learn that he is Shraddha's father, like that only. Okay,
he is a retired librarian and having rich experience of librarianship and worked in Jaikar Library, which is very known library in our university, and he has a huge experience about librarianship and also teaching in library science, and he is now associated with the CP, Center for Publication Ethics, and he works with me, he guides me at many times because we work together, we are working on different projects, and his advice is always helpful for me and to the center. So just over to Sir.
Thank you, Shivada, and thank you, Kishore. Actually, he said that I'm eager to learn or listen to my Guruji, but actually, let me tell you very frankly that I have learned many things with respect to this computer, because I know how he was the student of library science when he was doing it my MLISC at our department. So I have learned many things. So actually, means with respect to this technology and computers field, I can say he's my best guru, I can say, because I have learned many things with respect to computers. Okay, so this is just the formality of vote of thanks, but at the outset, I would like to thank both the speakers, Mr. Kishore Ingle and Shraddha, for accepting our invitation and delivering a very good lecture, because this overwhelming response indicates that there was a necessity of organizing this particular event. And especially there is a lot of, I can say, enthusiasm and eagerness in all these participants to learn many things with respect to this corporate library. What is the function of corporate library, how it works, what are the requirements, what are the skills required for these people, and what type of salaries. Means so many questions were asked by the participants. So I feel that Shivada, you should organize the one full day session, because there are many other organizations or corporate sector or librarians, and they can also share their experiences. So that will be beneficial for our participants and even our library science professionals. So through these both the lectures, it is clear that these corporate sectors especially, they work with one motto, and that motto is from library science only again, and that motto is that the right information to the right user at the right time. So right time is very important, because I know that many times Kishore used to send me the mail, and as we are an academic librarian, so we never means have that habit of looking at the mail every day. Means that happens. So whenever I used to write or answer to Kishore, he used to say, "Oh, sir, I have got this information long back only," because generally I will take 2 days, 3 days, etc. to reply him. So he said, "No, sir, right now within 1 hour I got the information." So I have learned that right time is very important in corporate sectors. Otherwise, what is the use of this information? So I learned many things from Kishore, and he used to say, I always ask him, "Sir, Kishore, can I get a job in corporate libraries?" This that is the thing. Yes.
Hello, sir.
You are not a fit.
I think
through this, is it audible?
Not audible. We get some disturbances.
Intermittently.
For me? Okay.
Yes, sir. Now you can talk.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And through these, both the work in corporate library, you require some special.
Sir, switch off your video.
Technical and technology skills, plus some advanced.
Switch off your video, sir. So
Yeah. So, yeah, Okay. So you need some communication skills, technical skills, technology skills, and some advanced skills like knowing the new computer languages and softwares. So all these things we learned from your these particular presentations, and thanks to Ashwini also for sharing the
Yes, sir.
of handling different queries in corporate libraries, especially TCS libraries. I would like to thank Professor Sadananda Bansode, Dr. Nagarkar for organizing this special event for the benefit of all librarians and common persons who are interested in working or finding jobs in corporate libraries. So thank you all the Department of Library Science teachers. I would like to put on record the efforts taken by Saili for organizing this event. She was I can say she was the event manager of this particular program. And thanks to the entire team of CPE, that is the Center for Publication Ethics, and especially Sunil for organizing this webinar. And I would like to for your overwhelming response to this particular webinar, because your overwhelming response indicates that it is necessary that we should organize this type of events in future also. And thanks your questions and queries you raised during these particular presentations. So thank you everyone. Thanks one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And we will end this session now. But just to appeal to everybody, we still have, we are still accepting the admission forms, and the date of admission is 17th of July. So please spread the word about our profession and encourage people, students to at least look into this profession, and they can take the admissions. Because once we have good students, otherwise we cannot serve the society the best way what Kishore and others are doing. So thank you very much for your really overwhelming response. Thank you, Kishore. Thank you, Shraddha, Pange sir, and all our authorities of the university and my own team. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Shubhda. Dr. Pange is one of my architect of my professional career, and I remember putting Dr. Kumbar into difficult questions, and then being a guru, he always gave a equally good reply. I remember once we, one of our professional meeting, we were into cocktail dinner, and I asked him a very difficult question, and I was thinking, yeah, I should not have asked it, being he teacher, but he was very, very calm and cool. He says, Kishore, here comes what we do it over there. But you see, who are the people coming from my department? And then we realized into that meeting, 50% of the people were from his department, from his team only.
Yes.
So yes, and I love interactions with you, fight with you. Even at midnight, call to Shubhda, or sending a mail to her at 11:50 and then getting a reply from her from 12:05. That kind of things are also there. I know you qualify for some of the qualities to work into corporate libraries, but looking at the pressure and other benefits, I feel okay, whatever you are doing is a good job. You are doing it because of you. There are new professionals who are being build their career into librarian field, and then I need those kind of a people. So at least for that, you need to be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I declare this we can close the webinar.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thanks.